Okay. All right. Public. Okay. So welcome to welcome to YouTube. Welcome to YouTube. Salute the XL Pro in the house. What up, what up, what up? As you come into the live stream, make sure you hit the like button. We only gonna be on here probably about an hour, a little bit over an hour. So I made some adjustments since the last time. Tell me how the audio sounds. Tell me how the audio sounds, because last time, a little bit low. It's all good though. I mean, you can still hear what I was saying. I was cursing up a storm. Cursing up a storm, by the way. Let me see. I'm gonna minimize. If you're watching on Instagram, I probably won't be able to see too many of your comments because I got a million billion things going on right now. And I'm trying to make sure that I pay attention to everything. All right, so hold on, let me pull the chat back up because I asked the question. All right, so Raj Will, the volume is good. XL Pro, the volume is good. Let me know again. If you are watching on YouTube, okay, good. If you are watching on YouTube and you want a visual, and I apologize if y'all hear some slapping and all that going on in the background. We have a cat. Me and my lady, we have a cat, and every time I go live, the cat always wants to come by me and sunbathe for some reason. The cat, you know what I mean? Either she's always under the bed or behind the stand-up mirror that we have. But she always wants to come by me and make some noise and move the blinds and all that. So we are simultaneously streaming on Rumble. So if you're on Rumble, you can find me. You can find me on Rumble. Zone 864 TV on Rumble. If you're on Instagram, you can find my live streaming page. I got a few pages on Instagram. But Zone 864 Live on Instagram. That's where we live right now. As well as YouTube. So visual and audio is Rumble and Instagram. Audio only YouTube. Audio only. And the reason I do it like that, and you know, the reason I do it like this is because, you know, sometimes it just depends on how I feel. But sometimes I have a bit of a potty mouth, and YouTube is, you know, YouTube is like the corporate your corporate workplace. you know, and I'm not monetized yet. You know, I'm working to get there, and I'm taking my sweet old time. So from time to time, what I'll do is it's kind of like I'm broadcasting a live podcast. So y'all are getting the live version of a podcast, because most of these podcasts, you know, they record them, edit them, and they put it out. But I like doing it this way because, you know, I like the interaction. And plus, sometimes when I'm talking about things, maybe if I have something wrong, somebody will, you know, come in the chat and let me know what I have wrong. Stan the man. What up, player? So I'm a repeat what I was just saying. Hold on, I'm just making some adjustments here. Just making some adjustments here. So the video, so on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, YouTube is audio only. YouTube is audio only. And the reason why it's audio only is because sometimes I'll be having stuff going on in the background. I don't want to accidentally show a video that's going to get me struck. That's going to get me copyright strike. I don't mind getting a copyright claim because that just means somebody's claiming the audio to their material that I'm playing. But you know, for me, right, and I'm gonna go even further, right? Make sure y'all please listen. If you want to hit the we're talking about exactly what's in the title. Gene Deal. We got this video from the Art of Dialogue. It's been out a couple days where Gene Deal is you know, basically talking about what's going on in week 2 of the trial, the Diddy trial. And so, like I said, that's why we just doing the black screen. And I'm gonna keep it real with you. Y'all shouldn't be worried about what's on the screen anyway. Listen, use your ears. Now, if you want video, if you do want video, I am on Rumble live right now. I'm on Rumble. And I am on Instagram. You can find me on Rumble, Zone 864 TV on Rumble. And you can also find me on Instagram at Zone 864 Live. Or you could just be right here on YouTube. Because and like I said, I just oh Lord. This ninja. Corey Love in the building, man. Let me go ahead and make some adjustments, man. Hold on. I'm not gonna block you, Corey. I'm not gonna put you in timeout. Hold on. There you go. You have a wrench, sir. So I mean, Corey, I am cammed up though. Corey, I'm cammed up on Instagram, Zone 864 Live, Zone 864 Live, or on Rumble, Zone 864 TV. But Corey, this is I'm assuming this is your first time here, and you know, like I just said, I have a potty mouth, Corey. You know, when I'm at the House of Love, you know, I know how to show respect. You know, plus I done worked in the corporate environment so long that I know how to, you know, speak without using profanity. And you know what? I'm going to actually try my best to speak without profanity, because when I went and I edited the visual video that I did last week, I'm like, yo, I said the F word like 1,000 times, man. I said the F word like 1,000 times, and it felt good. So that's why I'm on other outlets, because on Rumble, you can say what you want to say. And as well as Instagram. Instagram let me rock. They didn't interrupt the live stream or nothing. So you can say what you want to say, and Instagram is a little bit finicky. But yeah, man, we gonna get this started, man. Hey, make sure y'all hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. Okay? Oh yeah, and another reason why I'm not live is because, listen, before YouTube, right? I come from a family of engineers, musicians, and all that kind of stuff. Listen to what I have to say. Listen, I'm not Corey Love. Listen, I'm not going to come with the Fly Studio background. I'm not putting no lights in the background. I'm not doing none of that. If what I'm saying doesn't make sense, don't listen to me. If you can't hit the like button based off of what I'm saying, don't listen to me. I come from a world of radio and broadcasting. That's the world that I come from. Listen, I'm an 80s baby that grew up in the 90s. Do y'all know how much radio we listen to? Don't act like y'all ain't listened to the Quiet Storm before. You know what I mean? Before podcasting and live streaming and all of this kind of stuff, radio and broadcasting, that was how we got our information. You know what I mean? That was how we got our information. So that's what I'm taking my content back to. If I rock a ill fit, if I'm wearing one of them, them cold fitteds like my guy Corey Love, I might turn on the camera and flex and all that. But, for me, I'm in a relationship, and the funny thing, my lady asked me, sometimes she be hearing me when I'm talking, and she be like, do they know you got a girlfriend? I said, yes, they do. The ones that know me, they know that I have a lady. And I'm saying it over the airwaves because, well, quite frankly, I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm at a place in my life where, I'm good with what I got. I'm not trying to be no sneaky ninja, and, that's not me. I'm 36. I got 2 daughters. I'm trying to have some more children, so I got responsibility, you know what I mean? And I just, I did all the sneaky stuff before, in my younger days, and I just don't got time to be dealing with no ninja, man. I don't got time to be, you know what I mean? What's that rapper that got stretched out? Salute the Classy Creole in the building. My House of Love sister. The rapper Trouble, rapper Trouble that got clapped up in Atlanta a few years ago when he was messing with a chick, and I guess the chick's ex ran in and put him in the dirt. I don't got time for none of that. I don't got time to be put in the dirt, and I don't got time to be putting nobody else in the dirt. You feel me? Like I don't have the time for that, man. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. And on top of that, listen, fellas, if you are gonna do dirt, never go over to another chick's house. You need to either she need to come to your spot, and that's still risky, or you need to go to a hotel room or a motel, an undisclosed location. You know what I mean? If you're going to do it, and I'm not suggesting it, I'm not one suggesting it, because I advocate for fathers being in their children's lives, and I advocate for men being leaders of the community, and I advocate for men doing right by women if you're in a relationship with a woman. You know what I mean? So I'm not advocating for you to go outside of your relationship. I'm just saying that if you're going to do it the right way. You know what I mean? Don't be going all over her house and put your life at risk and you know what I mean? Now your family got to put you in the dirt because you know you couldn't control your little man between your legs. You know what I mean? We grown out here. You know what I mean? So we got to act grown, man. You know what I'm saying? I just got grown like last week, man. Yeah, I mean, I'm 36, man. You know, they say the brain stops developing at age 25. So if I'm 36, that means I only been thinking straight for 11 years. I only been thinking straight for 11 years. And I got a daughter that is, man, I'm old. I got a daughter that's going to be 17 in October, right? So 17 minus 10, what, that's 7. So I only been thinking, you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? I only been making good decisions. You know what I mean? Not that long. You know what I'm saying? And this is why they say that most men don't really become a man or mature into a fully realized man until the age of 40. Because with women, right? See, y'all start going through your cycles and you start developing with your body, you know what I mean, early in life, 11, 12. You know what I mean? Y'all be experiencing that early. You know what I mean? By the time, meanwhile, you know what I mean? When a man turns 18, you know, we all have that dream of, yo, I'm about to leave home. I'm about to leave. And then, you know what I mean? You turn 18 and what happens? You realize how broke you are. You realize how expensive everything is. You ain't got no money. You know what I mean? You realize how much it costs to buy food. You know, every time you need a ride to go to a chick house from your homie, he asking you for gas money. He asking you for $10, and that $10 is hurting like a mother. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But if y'all want to see the on-screen version of me, I'm on Rumble, Zone 864 TV. I'm on Rumble, Zone 864 TV. Also, I'm on Instagram, Zone 864 Live. Make sure y'all hit the like button. You know what I mean? Cash App is Zone 864 PC, P for Papa, C for Charlie. You can send me Cash Apps if you want, but I just want y'all to hit the like button. And let me explain something to y'all as well, because a lot of y'all are new. Right? So I'm not one of these content creators that's going to do 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 hours worth of research on shit. Y'all sit on YouTube, and I'm talking to every single person in the chat. All right? Y'all sit on YouTube all day, every day, and y'all watch content. Y'all go on Instagram. Y'all watch content. So the only thing I'm going to do is talk about the topic. And if y'all got some information I don't have, y'all need to be putting it in the chat. You know what I mean? I'm not one of these, like, I live a real life. I'm not going to spend, you know what I mean? Just like right now, all I did is turn on the mic and start talking. This is what I do. I'm going to turn on the mic and I'm going to start talking. I am not perfect. And I'm not going to try to act like I'm perfect. And shout out to all my content creators that do take the time to, you know what I mean, make sure every T is crossed and every I is dotted, you know, and who put their name at the top of the paper. You know, shout out to all y'all. I respect that, but that's not me. You know what I mean? When I watch content, I like to watch the content creators that turn on their phone and go live. And because, you know why? Because it's personality for me. It's personality, and that lets me know that person is genuine. I'm sitting in my living room right now talking on this microphone. I'm not perfect. I'm a regular ninja. I've done some extraordinary things in my life. I've talked to people most people will never talk to in the music business, because that's where I come from. And I could have a platinum hit tomorrow. I can have a platinum hit tomorrow. I am never gonna let I ain't never gonna let nobody do nothing to me crazy. I ain't never gonna take no part in no demonic ritual. I ain't never gonna pull no Diddy stuff. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna have no man milk on my chest. You know what I mean? I ain't never gonna do that. Listen, I'm from Greenville, South Carolina, man. I'm a southern boy for life with an up top New York influence because my pops is from Brooklyn. A lot of my family is from Brooklyn. My grandparents came here in 1968 from Trinidad. You know what I mean? So a lot of people in my family, they influenced me from up top. The first chick that ever tried to put a baby on me and put me on child support was from the Bronx. Now y'all see why Papoose is going through what he going through. Remy is just a personification of those chicks. If y'all think Remy is bad, go to the Bronx. Go. If y'all think Remy is bad, go to the Bronx and get in a relationship with any of those chicks. Those are some of the best acting chicks in the world. Those chicks are some of the best acting chicks in the world. And they some of the most, and when the summertime come around, they are some of the most beautiful black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic chicks you'll ever see. The chick that tried to one up me, she was a dark skinned one though. You know what I mean? And that girl is poison. From my mind. Hey, make sure y'all hitting that like button, man. Make sure y'all hitting that like button. Yeah, man. Yo, that girl, I almost quit. I almost didn't graduate high school because of this girl. Because I was missing so many days to go over her house and smash. I was cutting school to go over her house and smash. You know, the school started calling, I just get the fatties, bro. Dougie. I mean, yo, hey, is that your you know, every man likes, I guess if you just get the fat, I guess you just like fatties. You like fatty. Like, now when you say fatties, are you talking about like old Lizzo fatty? Or are you talking about like fatty in the ass? Because the one that almost got me, like I said, she had the dark skin. She had dark skin. She had natural hair, natural decent hair that came down to her shoulders. That's decent for a black woman. You know what I'm saying? And she was really slim and thin. And boy, that booty was crazy. That booty was crazy. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's see what Gene Deal has to say, man. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, man. Hit the like button. And I haven't seen this. I haven't seen this interview. This is my first time watching it. First time watching it with y'all. Put a if the volume and everything is still sounding crispy and good, crispity. Hold up. See you hit one thing and it takes everything. Put a 1 in the chat if the volume is still straight. You know what I mean? And hey, man, I appreciate everybody for coming through. Man, show me some love, man. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like a lot of content creators. Okay, cool. Listen, I want y'all here, man. I want y'all here. You know, I hear a lot of people today, right? Because I used to work in sales. I used to work in sales and, you know what I mean, customer service back in the day. And I hear a lot of people say, I hate people. I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to deal with people. Well, guess what? If it wasn't for people coming to your YouTube channel, if it wasn't for people needing services and goods, if people didn't need, then you wouldn't have a job. If people didn't need, then you wouldn't be able to make money. If people didn't need, you wouldn't be able to make a positive influence in people's lives. So I know people could be a challenge to work with. Absolutely. You know, when I used to work, for instance, I used to work in the healthcare field, right? You know, dealing with insurance and dealing with prescriptions and formularies and you know, doctors' offices and you know, all kind of crap, right? I used to do the unseen, ungrateful work that nobody's grateful for, right? And I used to talk to patients, and I used to, you know, a lot of people in the healthcare field, they try to be nice to people, but there's no nice way to say, ma'am, your copay is $1,000. I'm not gonna pay that. You know what I mean? Like, okay. And so my thing was, okay, because you know, or I used to have to tell them, yo, your insurance doesn't cover X, Y, and Z. You know, I used to have stuff like that, right? And the funny thing about, let me tell you how to deal with people, right? This is good. This is good insight. I try not to give too much advice because when you give advice, people don't listen. But so I usually give insight from my own life, right? So after somebody tell you what they ain't gonna do, right? Then you tell them what they will do. Okay, well, ma'am, you will do X, Y, and Z. Okay, if you want this, you will do X, Y, and Z. If you want this injection, you will tell your doctor to send in that prior authorization. If this needs to get done, then you will do this. And you know, and sometimes you have to be like that. You have to be like that because like I said, man, I love people. People are annoying, but I love people, man. Hit the like button, man. All right, let's get into this Gene Deal, man. Let's see what Gene Deal's saying. Can y'all hear it? Let me know if y'all can hear it.
My God, Gene Deal, happy to have you back, my man. Week 2, Diddy trial. I heard you was up there, yo.
Yeah, I went to the court. You know, I had to see for myself, brother. You know, it's an old cliche, a quote that used to say, you know, you always got to treat people good because the same people you see going up the ladder will be the same people you'll see when you're coming down the ladder. And for me, being as petty I could be sometimes, I wanted to just see his face. I wanted to see him in that circumstance, in that situation. I've seen it before with the Sean and the Wolf trial with them when Sean got.
All right, hold up. What happened? What happened? Something happened. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to figure out. All right, hold on, y'all. I'm like, yo, don't play with me, man. Hold on, y'all. Let me just refresh because you know what's going on with this, man. All right, while I'm refreshing, um, make sure y'all hit the like button. Yeah, hold on, hold on. All right, so I'm gonna explain this. I'm gonna explain this again. All right, so if you're watching on YouTube, it's gonna be audio only. It's gonna be audio only. All right, audio only on YouTube. This is because, like I explained, the way that I do my live streams is like a live. It's like a live podcast. You know how they record the podcast? They'll record a podcast and then they'll either premiere it on YouTube or they'll upload it. Well, this is a live version of it. So it's going to be audio only. If you want to see the visual, which ain't nothing special, it's just me on the screen talking on the microphone. I'm on Rumble. I'm on Rumble and I'm on Instagram at Zone 864 Live. Rumble, Zone 864 TV, Instagram, Zone 864 Live. And look, don't be coming in my chat trying to diss me because you will get a timeout or possibly even banned from the channel. So, exactly, Mr. Bryant, this is a live broadcast with no picture. Sounds just like the radio. Queen Brielle, salute for coming through. Let me give you what's due. And we got you a wrench. So, you know what I mean? So, again, to the trolls, listen, y'all can come in here and crack jokes. I don't mind the jokes. Like I said, you could talk about how my hair is not combed, how I don't brush my beard. You know what I mean? You could call me broke. All of those things, right? But if you just like trolling just to get my attention, and because you're a rainbow, because you might be a rainbow and you might want some attention, you know, that'll either get you timed out or that'll get you blocked. And I got quite a few mods on my channel, so I'm not gonna do it. I'll just have one of them do it. I'll just be like, hey, Classic Creole, take care of that. Hey, Raj Will, take care of that. Hey, Queen Brielle, take care of that. Hey, Corey Love, take care of that. Hey, House of Love, take care of that. Hey, hit the like button. See what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I almost made a song out of that, man. Hit the like button. All right, let me try this again. Still no sound. Still no sound. Still no sound. Still no sound. Is it YouTube that's doing that? Why would All right. Let me hold on. Let me make sure I got everything set up, man. Cuz let me see here. It should be set up. No desktop audio. Why? Why? Did I hit a button? 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 All right. Well, hold on, man. Let me try one more thing. Hold on. This is interesting. Hey, listen. Even if I know y'all can hear me. I know y'all can hear me, Mr. Bryant, but the video I was playing the video and then it just went silent. Like I'm trying to figure out because it's telling me I got sound from YouTube, but the browser that I'm using is saying that I don't got sound. And I'm trying to figure out why that is. Trying to figure out why that is. Yeah, so I don't know what. Okay, so that browser works. All right, hold on. I'm gonna close this browser. And that's another thing too, y'all. Like, you know what I mean? This is real time, on the fly. Sometimes things happen. You know what I mean? And like I said, man, I ain't like everybody else. Sometimes the shit is gonna work and sometimes it's not. You feel me? Sometimes it's gonna work, sometimes it's not.
What if you can create your own website
All
by
right.
saying,
All right, we might be back. We bike. All right. Let me just let this bum ass commercial play and we back. I think.
You got to treat people good because the same people you see going up the ladder,
My guy, Gene Deal, happy to have you back, my man. Week 2, Diddy trial. I heard you was up there, yo.
yeah, I went to the court. You know, I had to see for myself, brother. You know, it's an old cliche, a quote that used to say, you know, you always got to treat people good because the same people you see going up the ladder will be the same people you'll see when you're coming down the ladder. And for me, being as petty I could be sometimes, I wanted to just see his face. I wanted to see him in that circumstance, in that situation. I've seen it before with the Sean and the Wolf trial with them when Sean got locked up. But I knew he wasn't going to jail then because they had set it up, you know, for Sean to take the fall. You know what I mean? So, but this particular thing is all him. Everything that he always done to people, got away with it. It just came back and it's hitting them in a crazy way to see him right there. The government is about to take everything. People don't understand the RICO and they don't understand the racketeering and the criminal enterprise, all that set up to take everything that he's gained, everything that he owns. So what they're doing is now they're putting it together, the racketeering part of it, because now they're using Comb Global and Bad Boy Entertainment. They saying that's one and the same. You know what I'm saying? And when they do that, bruh, and they find that that's racketeering, that he used people in his company, to do all these sexual acts, deeds and stuff like that, paying the prostitutes and everything like that. And they prove that, which they doing a hell of a job, a great job in proving that. I had to see, bro. I didn't want nobody to tell me. I didn't want to get it from no YouTuber. I didn't want to get it from no news. I wanted to be right there to hear the testimony of some of those people that was there.
All right, now, Gene. Okay, Gene wanted to be there. He said he wanted to be there, but let's keep it real, my nigga. You trying to get some subscribers. You trying to get, you know what I mean? Okay, you could be doing, you know what I mean, there, but let's keep it real. You trying to get some shine, okay? You know what I mean? And for those of you that don't know, right? I don't dislike Gene, and I don't really just like Gene like that, right? But Gene, what people got to understand, when you go back and you watch his content, Gene Deal was the security guard for the Notorious B.I.G. Gene wasn't the security guard for Puff Daddy or Brother Love or Papa Diddy Pop or whatever y'all want to call him. He wasn't the security guard for Puffy. He was the security guard for the Notorious B.I.G. And because Gene felt like Puff got Big assassinated on purpose, this is what's driving Gene Deal's vendetta against Puff. You know what I mean? Let me see who we got. TMCK. Are you from the House of Love? Are you from Corey Love's channel? Because I feel like I seen you around before. Let me know. Y'all, is she from House of Love, Corey Love channel? Y'all let me know. But anyway, yeah, let's keep it going.
So how was it? Take me through it.
Well, the prosecution did a great job. It was certain people like, you see, I think her name Dawn, you know what I'm saying? She was in Danity Kane. She didn't do so well, but she didn't do bad, because what happened is that's this, and it's what people don't understand.
All right, she from Izzy Band's channel. All right, so here we go. All right, so Izzy Bands is my boy. That's my guy. So we're gonna give you a wrench. Now, TMCK, look, use this responsibly. All right? Use this responsibly.
Then she set an atmosphere of fear. And then people were saying this, bro. Oh, she went back once. She went back twice. She went back 8 times. She went back 20-some times to him. How could she be scared of him? No disrespect to Dawn for making this analogy. You got people that kick their dogs. You got people that beat their dogs. What do their dog do the next day? Come back and lick their hand. Because that person feeds them. That person is what gives them a house over their head, a roof over their head. That person's the one who put water in their bowl, food in their bowl. See, what people don't understand about Puff is this, is that he held the entertainment grip, especially for the people who was his former artists, in a chokehold. If you didn't do what he say do, if he didn't like you, you would never ever work for Bad Boy or anybody in the entertainment business again.
All right, my bad, y'all. We got some commercials playing. Yeah, but here we go.
You understand? He did it to Wendy Williams. He did it to a lot of people, bruh. So now her going back is just wanted to get food on her table, keep a roof over her head. Because nobody was probably telling her, yo, I can't work with you. I can't deal with you unless Puff say so. I'm not going to work with you. I'm not going to do anything, because they didn't want to make him mad, because he had enough power in the business to stop her. So
Hit the like button.
then she was saying something about, well, she seen this dude one stop selling drugs. You know, oh, did you see him get cash? Who gave him the cash and stuff like that? The good thing that she said it, and then they said, oh, well, you really didn't see him and stuff like that, but she knew of it. They had people come back and say this guy one stop name, you know what I'm saying, in their testimony. And they did a great job in their testimony. Like one of his PA's, personal assistants, did a great job in his testimony. And he said, yeah, I used to pay one stop for the drugs. You know, then we used to get the drugs to D-Rock. He used to have a case with all the drugs in it and stuff like that, hold a bag with all the drugs and everything and the money in it and stuff like that. So now she mentioned that. So now the jury knows she's telling the truth about One Stop giving people drugs. See, the people look at her, oh, her testimony was terrible. Her testimony, she didn't remember this, she didn't remember that. You ain't got to remember everything, but some of us have a great memory, and we do. And I applaud her for even trying. You know what I'm saying? When in fact, you know what I'm saying, she's a person that is a victim. She's a victim, bro. You know, these people who was around him and had to work with him came out, and that's what you find in the trial, that they were being victimized. And people around them that was there saw it, didn't say nothing, and didn't do nothing.
Pause. Okay. So question chat. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Do you think that Gene Deal, when he was around Bad Boy, a Puff, do you think he saw anything that he wasn't supposed to see and didn't report that to the police? Because that's the problem with Gene Deal. He has so much information on everybody else, right? He has so much information on the ins and the outs and the workings and who called who and who took who where, here, there. But do you, Gene, how are you seeing all of these things, right? Being former law enforcement, and you, how do you have all this information, and how is this going on around you, an officer of the law? That's my question.
If I'm not mistaken, Dunn, she testified that Diddy, he threw a skillet of eggs at Cassie, right?
Well, I don't know that was Dawn. What happened was one of the PAs, you know, his personal assistants, I think that was George something. I don't know his last name, but I think that was George. He said he came in and he had a bowl of apples, and it was Gina. This nigga was throwing a bowl, not to laugh, man, that he was just throwing them apples as hard as he can, hitting Gina with some apples, dog. That's like throwing a brick at somebody almost. And he was doing crazy shit like that, man. He threw
We got a commercial playing. But for the record, I'm going to just let anybody know. All right? If you ever get upset with me and you decide to throw an apple at my head, off with your head, son. Off with your head, son. You're done, son. You're done.
Say he threw one of those hard, like it could have been a bourbon glass. You know those hard glasses that you have that you pour alcohol in? And speaking of alcohol, and we said bourbon, that's my alcohol right there. Want it. Get it in the stores. I got to promote it on your show, Mighty. It's wanted. Get it in the stores, y'all.
Hold up. Why is Gene Deal promoting and marketing alcohol and he's a diabetic? I think Gene Deal's a diabetic because I was watching one of his live streams one time and he started getting woozy like during the middle of a live stream, and he was calling one of his daughters to bring him a piece of candy because his sugar was getting low. So I guess he had to eat the sugar to spike his insulin level or something like that. I didn't know diabetics were supposed to be drinking alcohol with all the sugar it has in there, but I digress.
It's coming real soon. We repackaging the bottle, we repackaging everything, and it's going bourbons and cigars, man. I know you hate that. You're gonna cut that, huh, Mighty? But anyway, man, to get back to the story, he was on a plane and he throwing glasses at Cassie. And then cursed her the F out and told her to go in the back of the plane and sit, and nobody said nothing. Yo, a lot of stuff is coming out in this trial, man, and there's no coming back from this. And I had to hear it, and I had to see it, and I'm glad I heard it. No matter what the outcome is, and I swear for living Jesus, and I know this to be true, if he have any sense, he'll go to the prosecution with his defense team, and he'll tell them, yo, can I still get that 5 years?
Why? Okay, listen. I'm not advocating for Diddy at all. If the nigga did the shit, lock the nigga up and throw away the key. I don't support any man that just goes around allegedly blowing up people's cars and abusing women. I don't support any man that is in support of sex trafficking. I don't, you know what I mean? I don't rock with all of that. But at the same time, when you're a billionaire, right? Because this is what people are forgetting. People keep saying, oh, he should take the deal, take the time. Well, if he takes the time and takes the deal, and let's say that he's actually not guilty of what they're accusing him of, well, then there goes all his money. The federal government is going to seize all his assets, and he going to be left with, he going to be like Frank Lucas when Frank Lucas came out of jail. So that's what a lot of people are forgetting. Continue.
Can I still get that 5 years? But now he's at the point where is that if they prove this racketeering, they could take all his assets. And I think that's what they're shooting for now. Because everything else basically is going to be proven or has been proven.
How did Diddy look appearance-wise?
Thinner. He tried to appear not worried, but I know he's worried.
He ain't doing that cocaine no more.
She tried to appear not worried, but he's worried, bro. You understand? You only see basically when you first come in, if you don't see him, you see him leaving when he's looking back or whatever like that, but you only see the back of his head. He didn't really turn that much or look that much, back to the crowd or anything like that. So you could tell that it was him, and it was him because it's his trial, but I never seen that much gray in his hair before in my life. You wouldn't even know. You think he was Papa Diddy. Papa Diddy Pop. Yo, he had so much gray in his hair, bro. So I don't understand why he just don't cut it down or cut it bald so you really couldn't tell like that. But I guess that's what he choose to do.
Kid Cudi, how you feel about him testifying against Diddy?
Well, he testified, and I think he was more. He was very entertaining. He had everybody laughing and shit like that. You know what I mean? But he testified to somebody coming in his house because he would leave his door open, and it was around Christmas time, and they took all the gifts out the wrappers. He didn't say they took the gifts. You know what I'm saying? I can't recall he said they took the gifts. They just took them off the wrappers. I guess they was looking for something. I don't know what it was. You know what I'm saying? They locked his dog in another room. You understand? They didn't really ramshack anything like that. You know, ain't terrible nothing like that. And then he testified to somebody allegedly Diddy bombing his car, but he didn't say Diddy until the end. You know, he said that him and Diddy was having a lot of beefs and problems because he had found out that he was talking with Cassie, and him and Cassie was dealing with each other. So he was acting like that he wanted to fight Diddy. He was going to meet Diddy so they could have a one-on-one. He was going to fight Diddy. And he said Diddy was standing up there in the middle. He was at this big window, and he was standing in the middle like he was some kind of superhero.
Shout out to Bell 5000.
Some kind of Avenger or something like that, with his hand behind his back. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I thought that was really entertaining. And then the prosecution went on and had him describe the stuff that Cassie was going through. And did he ever see Cassie with bruises and scars on her and stuff like that? He testified yes. He testified that she told him it came from Diddy. He testified that when him and Cassie stopped dealing with each other and stuff like that, his car ended up blowing up. But Diddy didn't know they had stopped dealing with each other. And so then the prosecution asked him, like, yo, did you believe him when he told you that he didn't blow up your car? He said, nah, I knew he was lying. You understand? But I thought it was funny where he said he was going to fight Diddy. I don't think he would have had a chance with Diddy. My own personal opinion.
Okay, how in the hell is Kid Cudi gonna fight Diddy when this nigga Kid Cudi, do your Googles, this nigga Kid Cudi was on Saturday Night Live or one of these shows wearing a dress. So how is one nigga gonna fight another? How is one nigga that likes wearing dresses gonna fight another nigga that likes niggas that wear dresses? That's somebody explain that to me.
You're the guy with the gun. The person.
Commercial break. Yeah, man. Hey, y'all hit the like button for me, man. If you enjoying this content, man. You know, I decided to come on and do my thing. Spend some time with y'all this afternoon. So hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? Hit the like button. And come in the chat. You know what I mean? And participate and, chop it up and fellowship with us over here at Zone 864 TV. Also, I'm live on Zone 864, live on Instagram. And we are live on Rumble, Zone 864 TV. So if you want to see the camera version of me, I'm live video and audio on Instagram and Rumble. Let's go.
But who knows? After all the drugs and alcohol, Diddy probably wasn't the same dude he was in the 90s and early 2000s. And I know people gonna say, yo, Diddy only beat women and shit like that. I seen him took some niggas down. I seen him took some big guys down, some guys a little bit bigger than him. You understand? He knows who to mess with, I guess. But I seen some dudes who thought they had him and grabbed him, and he ended up slamming them. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. I know people gonna say,
Mark, all right, so this is what I want y'all to do. So let's all wish Mark McClevey, or whatever his name is. Everybody tell him happy birthday, and then one of my mods go ahead and time him out. Let's go.
Don't be trolling like, yo, this, that, and the third. But I don't think the average dude gonna run up on him and think that he ain't gonna defend himself.
Appreciate you subscribing, Sin Rose.
And because he can and he will. You know, the one I knew. You know, there's so many different. It's the Puff Daddy, the Diddy, the Love, the Brother Love. You know, there's so many different people inside this month. You never know. So I know one thing, that I don't believe if I had to put my house up, my money up, you know what I'm saying, and Puff heyday, I would go with Puff. I would go with him.
You would still go with Puff today. You would still go with Puff today. If Puff offered you the right bag amount, the right amount of money, you would still go with Puff today. Stop capping, Gene.
Against a dude that's gonna wear a dress.
Right. So you was up there when Kid Cudi testified. You ain't tell me that, yo.
No, bro. I came into court, but I had to go to the it was late, so I had to go to they had the overflow court. You know what I'm saying? When you don't come early, you have to go to the overflow court. So most of my time was in the overflow court. And that's where I seen the Kid Cudi, the last of all the what you call it? The Kid Cudi was off, and then all the other people, the Psych, the the makeup artist, and the personal assistant, the makeup artist, the Psych, and computer genius. I mean the computer investigator for the feds. And I seen the rest of those.
From the testimony that Kid Cudi gave, do you think it was a bad look for Diddy? You think it's going to have an effect on Diddy winning the case?
None of it's a good look for him. But it would
Shout out to the House of Love in the building. We in here deep, baby.
affect him in a matter whereas that people are building an atmosphere. Whereas that if he didn't do it, his enterprise, people from his enterprise did it. People from where he worked, that's what the racketeering come in at. He had people that worked for him to do his dirty deeds. You understand what I'm saying? So that's where that come in at. So his testimony of somebody doing this stuff.
Yeah, pause, no Diddy. That was crazy.
Because he was dealing with Cassie helps the racketeering case for the government. Because he had people that work for him that he's paying to do things like that for him. So the jury was looking that Kid Cudi did a great job. You could tell the jury was entertained by Kid Cudi, bro. Not only were they entertained, you know, because some of them, you know, they try to keep a straight face if they laughed in the whole 9 yards. But what happens is this. They believed him. They believed him. And they was waiting for the defense to jump on top of Kid Cudi like they jumped on all the rest of the people as far as Dawn and the people that testify, you know what I'm saying, against Diddy, that was going at Diddy. And what happened was when the lawyer got ready to do the redirect to go at Kid Cudi, Puff told him no. And the jury saw that, bro. The jury saw that. Puff's like, nah, don't ask him no more questions. Now he paying all these lawyers all this money to defend him. And that's what that narcissism come in at. Like he know everything. I don't know what he thought they would have pulled out of him or said or stopped or he was killing him or whatever it was Kid Cudi was doing up there. He didn't want to hear or see no more of it. Well, he told his own lawyers, don't redirect, don't say nothing. So they ain't even question Kid Cudi.
You want to know why why Diddy told his lawyers to stop? Because eventually they was gonna ask the question. So, you know what I mean? Kid Cudi, have you ever put any man milk on Diddy chest? You know what I mean? Diddy ain't want that to come out, did he? Pause.
And that's crazy because what a lawyer wants to do, all lawyers wants to do, is get the last word. The last word. They want to go at them and get the last word to make sure that their client is all right. But when Puff did that, you should have seen the face on those jurors' face when he did that. I think that's going to be one of the things that bury him, to make them believe that he directed everybody to do the things that happened. I can't believe that he stopped his lawyers, bruh. He stopped his lawyers for doing a redirect on Kid Cudi so they could try to, you know.
With so many ways to trade.
Yeah, commercial break. Commercial break. Hey, man, make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Appreciate y'all being here with me today. Make sure y'all hit that like button and subscribe to Zone 864 TV. If you like the vibe, if you like what you're hearing, let's go.
Thinking a different way. But I guess because Kid Cudi was so entertaining that it made him feel like he wasn't the main focus in the room anymore. Something.
So you believe Diddy's going to get convicted of racketeering?
See, what happened is this. Puff had people do things, criminal acts, buying drugs, right? Paying for prostitutes, paying prostitutes, paying for prostitution, bringing people and drugging people, because we now know that the drugs was not in the baby oil, it was in the eye drops. They was putting drugs in the eye drops. So I guess that's where they was, putting in people drinks or whatever like that. But they would, because, it's hard to see a little eye drop thing in your hand and you just go and throw a little squirt in somebody's drink or whatever like that. You ain't definitely putting nothing in nobody's eyes and say, here, take this. This is going to make you feel good. They was putting that shit in people's drinks. They found drugs in the eye drops. You understand? I still don't know why they took 1,000 bottles of baby oil and didn't find nothing in it, but they didn't bring that up yet. So they found the drugs in the eye drop. So now the racketeering is going to come, whereas that the people that he had do all those criminal acts, they were paying for it out cash with their own money and credit cards and stuff like that. And then Bad Boy was coming and paying them under Bad Boy Entertainment. They was paying them back. So that's where the racketeering is going to come in at. Committing crimes and then paying for it with the company and using the people in your company to commit the crimes for you. It only takes two, bruh. And they got more than two already. And that's why, and I'm sorry about that, Marty, that's why you got those people that took those deals. They got his own people testifying against him now. Did you buy drugs? Yes. Who did you buy drugs for? Mr. Combs. What did you buy drugs with? My money. How would you?
So what I want to say right here, right? Because I see everybody keep saying, where's the sex trafficking? Where's the charges? Where's the proof that he did that, this, that, and the third? I can't even speak today. Let me pull something up here for y'all, and we gonna get right back to this. Hold on. Let me pull something. Let me pull something up. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay. So everybody keeps saying, I don't see where here's the thing. The prosecution is going to slow walk. This is a 2-month trial. This is what we have to all understand. So we have to be careful when we want to jump to conclusion just because, maybe you want to see him get off, or maybe you're tired of talking about the Diddy situation. It is what it is, folks. We're not going nowhere for another month and a half. You know what I mean? We're only 2-3 weeks in. We still have another month and a half worth of testimony and transcripts and, tea to come out. RICO, what does a RICO stand for? RICO stands for Racketeer Influenced Corrupt Organization. The official name, Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, was introduced in 1970. So you have to understand that a RICO, and I know a lot of people say, oh, there's only one person. No, there are multiple ways that you could actually work a RICO. You could work, it could be a gang RICO. It could be a financial crimes RICO. It could be a RICO that's based around a certain thing. It could be a sex trafficking RICO. You have one founding crime that they're trying to find out. It's a multifaceted lawsuit. So they're prosecuting you in a multifaceted way. They're trying to see, okay, were you using your business illegally? Did you tell somebody that you would pay them if you put a body in the trunk? When did has your organization been running in a corrupt way? Is it an organization? How are they acting in a capacity that shows that you're guilty for what we've charged you for? So I know we want this to be over. Some people might want him to get off. Some people want him to hurry up and get locked up. But we're not going nowhere for a while.
You reimburse for your money or whatever like that through Bad Boy Entertainment.
Yeah, that was crazy to hear. And like you said, they did find bottles of eye drops with MDMA, which is ecstasy.
They do all kinds of stuff, bruh. And it's crazy how people never even knew that or noticed that. And they had us thinking that it was the baby oil. But they haven't said anything about the baby oil. But I just can't imagine they say they took 1,000 bottles of baby oil out of there and nothing. But they said he liked things that was real. They wanted everything to shine. He wanted everything slippery and willing to shine. They was even talking about that with the hotel manager. Yeah, that's one of the another people they brought in. They brought a guy who ran one of the hotels, and he was saying that how they used fake names, but they made a profile that we already knew that was Sean Combs. He may have used a different name every time, and then because they had to charge because it was always anywhere from $500 worth of damage to $1,000 worth of damage of all the hotels, and the people always hated cleaning it up because it was really nasty and messed up after every party.
Yeah, I heard they had to do deep cleaning for, Diddy hotel rooms after he was done.
He was bringing tubs, like those play pools that your kids grow up in because you can't afford a pool and nothing like that, and filling them up with baby oil. And then,
Make sure y'all hit the like button.
check this out, man. He would have the hotel people. You know how you could turn up the heat in the hotel, right? To 85, 90, and it'd be baking in that joint. They had to bring extra heaters to the hotel, and turn them on.
Yo, man, I don't know why. Maybe this is just my weird mind, but I feel like that room was smelling like pigs or something, like filthy animals. Like, you got baby oil on you and then you turning the heater up as to the max. Like, that room stank, man.
You can't tell me that ain't no demon and no devil in that man's body. Who wants it that hot? Well, you can't hardly breathe. The hotel would turn the heat up all the way and then bring extra heaters. My man, that ain't the laughing. Boy, you can't tell me that.
The bell said, my question is how you my question is, how do you know this Gene? How do you think he know, the bell? He was there. Listen, either, let me tell y'all something. Either he was there or Gene, yeah, I mean, he had knowledge. He had knowledge of what was going on in real time when the situation, when the freak offs was popping off. While Diddy was having his freak offs, Gene could have been having his own freak offs. I know Gene is like, trying to paint this innocent picture of, he just wants vengeance, but, and I'm not saying Gene is guilty or not guilty, but we don't know what Gene was doing. You got to realize when a ninja is on the internet and all he's doing it, I ain't never seen nobody doing this much singing as Gene. You know what I mean? Because when people start talking, it's kind of like when a dude likes a girl, but all he does is call her the B word and says that she's a hoe and a slut and all these things. But in reality, he really likes her. But that's the only way that he could get her attention, because he don't got enough game to get it in the right way. You know what I mean? So you got to wonder why is this dude always talking to this girl? Because he really liked the girl. Same thing with Gene. He's talking because he knows much more than what he's talking about. You know what I mean? And I think he's doing this much singing on the internet to try to not have to take the stand and to try to get himself out of whatever RICO or whatever lawsuit might be coming his way in the future.
That ain't no demon, bruh.
Yeah, Diddy a wild boy. I guess he like his freak offs intense and everybody's sweating. I don't know. I'm trying to make sense of it.
Hey, man, I guess you assuming, I'm assuming too, bruh. I can't believe that this individual put those people, and the hotel people saying it wasn't always Cassie. It was other people. They said it wasn't always Cassie. It was different people. And they also said it wasn't always Diddy under that bad boy company that was doing the freak offs. And you had to go through his personal assistant. See, that's where the racketeering and the enterprise, he was setting up freak offs for other people too. And he was using bad boy, bringing prostitutes in, using bad boy entertainment, label, and all that for the freak offs. So we got that information out the court thing too.
With Asana.
Make sure y'all hit the like button. We on a commercial break. Hit the like button and subscribe. Let's try to get up to 100 likes if we can. Appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We listening to this video of Gene Deal talking about what happened in week 2 of the Diddy federal trial, the sex trafficking trial. This is on the Outer Dialogue. It's a couple days old. So I thought it would be fun for us to listen to and dissect. Let's go.
It was, and then what happened is that KK now, it must have became a problem because she had to clear all the freak offs or all the payments for the freak offs. So somebody must have been doing it, and now it had to be cleared by KK when Puff wasn't directly doing it himself.
Yeah, that's a wild guy, man. And I heard that they brought in a psychologist to testify.
I think the government brought a psychologist in to testify because they wanted to paint a picture to the jury of how these people are victims. You understand? See, I'm familiar with the Stockholm syndrome, Stockholm syndrome. That's when an individual start loving his captive. You understand? you have these women that has that certain type of like syndrome, whereas that they start loving.
All right, now let's keep it real. Stockholm syndrome is definitely a real thing. There's definitely real cases where victims get taken advantage of, where they get psychologically messed up, where things get to a point that most of us normal people will never understand. I do believe in Stockholm syndrome, right? But then we also have to be real. A lot of these women, and this is why you have to be careful believing all women. I'm not saying don't listen to them, but you got to be careful listening to all women, because a lot of these bees, they just want the money. They gonna do anything for money. I got 2 daughters, right? I got 2. One in college and one, hopefully, that will be in college soon. My job as a dad is to do anything and everything I can to keep them from not having to be in a freak off situation and to keep them off the pole. If I can do that as a dad, I succeed. If I can't do that as a dad, well, if I succeeded, it was questionable.
The person that are doing them the worst. You know, you grew up, we all grew up with girls that, you know, they messed with some dudes and they was pretty, they was beautiful, and you want to understand, yo, why she messing with dude like that? Why she keep messing with him? You understand? That's because they mentality, and they got their mind and their mental, and the people feel bad. So when they brought that psychologist in there, and she was telling me, and she never interviewed Cassie at all. She never interviewed Cassie. She was telling how bad, you know, how Cassie and people like Cassie, when somebody have all the power and they think they don't have no power, you understand, we all know the rule, the golden rule, the man with all the gold makes all the rules. That's the golden rule. Puff made everybody around him feel, listen, I am the man with the gold. I'm the man who make the rules. If you don't play by my rules, you ain't gonna get to touch this gold or nothing. Now, this was perfectly clear by one of his assistants. One of his assistants got up there and said, yo, to me, Diddy was God. He was like God. He showed me the world. He showed me how big the world. I was like, the dude seemed like, he sounded like Kirk Burroughs. Like he had a relationship with Diddy before or something. That's how this dude sounded. He was brainwashed. And that's the one that said that he stopped working. I think it was George. He stopped working, but because he couldn't take the beatings, watching Cassie getting the beatings that she was getting.
Make sure y'all hit the like button. So check this out. We are coming to the conclusion of the first part of this live stream. We're going to break this down into 2 parts because I got to go. So we are coming up on the conclusion of this live stream. So make sure you guys hit the like button. We're going to let this run for a few more minutes. Appreciate y'all coming through. We are also, well, we were live on Instagram, but that live went through. We got the visual and the audio on Rumble, Zone 864 TV on Rumble. But yeah, let's go.
So now the psychologist was there to prove to the jurors that everybody around them was damaged, bro. They was damaged. They was going through some kind of mental that Puff was putting them through. And she practically proved her point. She did a great job in proving her point. They did the defense got on there and tried to, you know, make it seem like, well, you know, you didn't interview Cassie. You can't really, you know how she felt and know how she did like that. and she was painting a picture, and she was talking about the behavior. She was talking about the behavior of individuals staying in that type of relationship and that type of atmosphere. You understand? And I think the biggest thing was me from when this guy came up there and he was talking about Puff was like God to him. That proved her point right then and there. He had that golden rule syndrome.
Speaking of his assistants, I heard that one of his assistants testified against him, right? That he was buying drugs for him and prostitutes.
Yeah, that was his assistant. George was one of them. George was one of the systems, and they were saying Roger Bonds did the same thing, was paying people, would pay them and pay them when they paid their money out. He had like a PA, and then he had like a chief assistant or something that was over one of the assistants. But I think both of those guys got what you call an immunity deal, whereas that if they testify and let the government know about the criminal activity that was going on, that they wouldn't be brought up on any charges. And I think there's going to be another, some more people that's going to get that deal too, or got that deal already. Because this is about bringing down Puff, the whole enterprise, and probably about them taking all his companies down and getting the money from him. That's the way I see it. You understand? And if it's not about justice for Cassie, it's about justice for his past deeds, brother, that he did in the past. You're not gonna always get away with that he got away with. You understand? So now, if they come and they bring this up and they get all this that they bring it into fruition, all the stuff that he did in his past dealings, and he go down for the sex trafficking, which is only one witness, and it only takes one witness.
Thank you for coming, Cream Real.
For sex trafficking. It only takes one witness, and we got the one witness. We got Cassie, Odie, and we got all the prostitutes that they paid. And now we got the people that work for him to say they paid some of the prostitutes. They didn't know they was prostitutes at first. That's what they say. But they found out that later on that they were prostitutes.
And you was telling me that he hired another lawyer, right?
I think he hired a guy who used to be somebody, I don't know if it's a guy or girl, lady, but he hired a lawyer that used to be down with the Department of Justice. You understand? I think he had about 10 lawyers already. Listen, save your money, bruh, and take the time and try to come back out and do something with the rest of your life. See what they give you that 5 years. Because I don't care how many lawyers you have, bruh, they're not going to lose this case. They're not going to lose this case. And if they do, somebody sabotage this. Because they've already proven the case. They've already proven what they need to prove.
Stop right there. Okay, so the problem that I have with that, right? This is the problem that I have with people, period. Anybody that, and including myself, because I'm human. The problem that I have with people that just want somebody to go down so bad. How is he guilty if he's innocent before being proven guilty? This is the problem. People want somebody to be guilty of something so bad. This is the whole purpose of going through trial, so that we can hear everything that's going to come out, so that we can see if they're really guilty. And people that listen to dudes like Gene, that just have so much contention in their heart for one guy, those bird brains are like, yeah, he's guilty. He did it. And like I said, I'm no champion of Diddy. I'm not going to defend Diddy. But what I want is, if Diddy is guilty of something, I want the facts to come out. I want justice. If Diddy is guilty of something, I want justice. I don't want him to be convicted because everybody got their panties in a bunch and they got their feelings so invested in this Diddy trial. Everybody's so thirsty and greedy for content that you're blinded by the facts. And that's the problem with a lot of people, is that they're so thirsty for content or whatever. I never really understood that. I don't get how somebody could be so contentious that they like, yo, he's guilty. And yeah, I might make a joke from time to time. I might crack jokes and, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm a realist. You have a black man that was blessed enough to see things that most of us will never see. You have a black man who has soared to the peaks of success that most of us will never get to see. All for you, Diddy, to get yourself in a point where you have to go through a public humiliation ritual, if that is what this is. And he ends up walking away not guilty. So that's the problem with dudes like Gene. And not that I have any problems with him personally, but I just have a problem with dudes like Gene and people like Gene that keep saying, yo, the prosecution got it in the bag. Yo, I don't see how he's going to walk away. None of us are lawyers. We all watching this thing one trial day at a time. Like, it could be looking like he's guilty the whole trial, and all it takes is one good week for the defense. All it takes is one good week in court for the defense, and Diddy's walking. That's what people don't understand. All it takes is one good week for the defense in court, in the trial, and Diddy is walking. And that's what people like Gene Deal don't understand. Doesn't matter how much, information the prosecution has. Can they prove it to make it stick to what they charging Diddy with, which is sex trafficking under the RICO? Now, I will say that, yeah, a lot of the stuff that the prosecution has, it's solid and it's sticking, but it's not enough to make me say it's not enough to make me say that they can convict him. They have a lot of information. They got a lot of information that's solid. But how we know this won't get to the last week of the trial and then Trump pardon Diddy? Then what? Trump make this all go away? Yeah, I saw it. I just like the rest of you. I saw that Trump was going to pardon Diddy. Yes, possibly. I saw that he may consider it. Yeah, I saw that. And, this is just what people don't understand. It's kind of like the ASAP Rocky trial. It wasn't looking good for ASAP Rocky until the last few days. The last few days. And that's what people don't realize. It's those last week, those last 2 weeks, that last week, those last few days. Everybody thought ASAP Rocky was going be convicted of the ASAP. What's the other guy's name? ASAP Relly or whatever his name is. Everybody thought ASAP was going, get convicted of that. And he walked. But I want to bring up this too while I'm talking about ASAP Rocky. Isn't it mighty strange how Rihanna is ASAP Rocky's wife? ASAP and Rihanna is down with Roc Nation. And ASAP caught the same case, he caught the case in the same county that Tory Lanez caught his case. Isn't it strange how Roc Nation is on one side of the situation, how ASAP Rocky is associated with Rock Nation, how Megan Thee Stallion is associated with Rock Nation. So one associate of Rock Nation just walks away scot-free. When I'm gonna be honest, if I don't wish it on ASAP Rocky, but if anybody should have been going to jail, should have ASAP. He better be thanking his lucky stars. Meanwhile, you got Tory over here. No gunshot residue on the weapon. Not only that, we don't even know who the weapon is registered to. And you know why we don't know who the weapon is registered to? Because those documents are sealed. Megan Thee Stallion over here talking about she got popped in the foot. Kelsey ain't said nothing. The bodyguard goes missing. You tell me that's not a railroad. Everybody want to talk about, oh, Puff is being railroaded. F that. If anybody's being railroaded, it's Tory Lanez. If anybody was railroaded, it's Tory Lanez. And this is why you have to be careful. You have to listen to the facts. You have to listen to the information so that you can come to a reasonable, logical conclusion of what's going on. Tory did it to himself. I mean, we could talk about that. Matter of fact, I might talk about the Tory Lanez situation tomorrow. Yeah, we could talk about the Tory Lanez situation tomorrow. But I think I'm gonna end it right there, y'all. I think I'm gonna end it right there, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all listening. You know, never really had this many viewers on a live stream before. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate y'all helping me reach that goal. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. Hey, be safe out here. Be safe out here. Leave a comment. And I'm proud of myself too. I don't think I cussed all day. I don't think I cussed. But I believe you me, I wanted to cuss when in the beginning of the stream, when it was messing up, when the audio was messing up, I wanted to cuss, man. I was about to start cussing. Man. But listen, hit the like button. Make sure y'all subscribe if y'all, if y'all like the channel. This is the people's channel, man. This is the people's chat. I want us all to come in here, chop it up. And guess what? I got a phone line too. I got a phone number. So I'm going to have y'all call in. And give y'all thoughts and everything like that. Maybe on down the line, we might do some panel shows and stuff like that. So yeah, man, make sure y'all leave a comment after the stream is over. You know what I'm saying? It's saying we reached over 10,000 views. So I appreciate y'all very much. Make sure y'all leave a comment after the stream is over. Be careful out here. Protect yourself. Don't do anything I would do. All right. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Peace.